A lovely, warm evening to our beloved principal, Dr. Shaju Vagisa, most valued and worthy guest, Dr. Chandana C., BIIC Manager, MG University, Head of the Department, Dr. Abraham Mathusa, respected teachers, staff, and my dear friends. It's a matter of pride for me that I'm comparing this program titled Entrepreneurship Are Entrepreneurs Born or Made? Let's begin the program with the blessing of Almighty. Let's take this time for a silent prayer. Firstly, I invite Mrs. Ramya G. Nair, the program coordinator, for delivering welcome.
Good afternoon, one and all, and welcome to the webinar organizing by Department of Botany in association with Institutions Entrepreneurship Development Center and Institutions Innovation Council on the topic entrepreneurship. Are entrepreneurs born or made? Today, we are fortunate to have an apt person to deliver the talk on entrepreneurship, Dr. Chandana C. She is currently working as a Technology and Business Incubator Manager at Business Innovation and Incubation Center, BIIC, Mahatma Gandhi University, Kotte. Her experience in BIIC include promoting students' entrepreneurial ecosystem inside the campus by promoting students' startup missions, etc., by extending facilities at MGU through BIIC. She has conducted and coordinated various programs and workshops related to startups and entrepreneurship in collaboration with Kerala Development and Strategic Council, Ministry of Education, Kerala Startup Mission, MSME, etc. On behalf of St. Peter's College, Botany Department, and IEDC, IIC, we would like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Chandana ma'am. Welcome you, ma'am. Now let me welcome our thank you. Now let me welcome our principal, Dr. Shaju Vagi sir, to the webinar session. And now let me welcome Sri Abraham Matthews sir, HOD Department of Botany, to the webinar session. And now let me also welcome Dr. Sona is the IEC Nodal Officer and IIC Convener, and Dr. Renu Susan Samuel, IEC Assistant Nodal Officer and IIC President, for the strong pillars of IEC in our college. Welcome you both to the webinar session. And let me all welcome IEDC teacher representatives and students who joined for this webinar today. And once again, welcome you all to the webinar session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramya ma'am. Now let me take this time for ma'am for addressing.
Welcome, Chandana ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I thank the organizers of behind this webinar. I thank the principal sir and the entire faculty, the organizing team, Remya Miss, and all my dear friends. And I express my sincere gratitude for inviting me to deliver a talk on this entrepreneurship. I'm so happy to be a part of this webinar. And I thank the organization, the institution once again. So let me start with all your blessings. Thank you. Ma'am, hope the screen is visible.
Yes, Miss. Yeah.
And I'm audible now.
Yeah, audible, but certain disturbances are there.
Okay. How is it now?
Can you use headset?
Just a minute.
Okay.
Ma'am, am I audible now?
Yeah, audible, audible.
Okay. So as ma'am has mentioned, I am working as the Technology Business Incubation Manager at the Business Innovation and Incubation Center of Mahatma Gandhi University. So let's start our today's session dealing with entrepreneurship. So as we all know, entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs, it is being used nowadays as a very common term that is related with some sort, any sort of business or any other ventures. And this term is getting very frequent use in nowadays. So let's see and let's share some of our views related to this topic, entrepreneurship. Are entrepreneurs really born or made? So before getting into a conclusion over that statement, let's move on to the certain qualities or characteristics or certain competencies that are essential for an entrepreneur. So who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur, we know entrepreneur is any a person who sets up or runs his own business. So that business may be of any type, whether a small scale business or a large scale business, ending up with some multinational company alliances and all. So it is a term that specifically means anybody can be called as an entrepreneur when he's dealing with setting up a business or runs his own enterprise. So so there are certain characteristics, there are certain qualities for an innovator, for an entrepreneur to succeed in his entrepreneurial journey. So that entrepreneur might be a student or an employee from other organizations. So nowadays, most of the people are managing their entrepreneurial journey along with their academic life or other management jobs and all. So there are certain qualities. So let us see one by one. So an entrepreneur is an innovator too. Innovator in the sense, it doesn't mean that always he should have some sort of innovative ideas with him. That is not necessary. Sometimes that idea may be so innovative and relevant, or otherwise he can find some solutions to the certain existing problems of the society too. So innovation, by that term, that means both innovative ideas, that may be a new idea, and some relevant solution for an already existing idea. And definitely, second point is organizer. An entrepreneur must be an organizer too. So he should have that potential to organize certain firm to set up, to establish. So that organizing capacity is very important. And of course, decision maker too. So decision maker means we all know that by the term itself, he can listen to his co-workers or his mentors or his experts from different fields. He can listen to experiences from various his friends or other business tycoons and all. But finally, the decision should be made by the entrepreneur themselves, whether he or she, but the ultimate decision should be taken by that entrepreneur. So that decision making capacity is very important. Next is initiator. Initiator means initiating a particular venture with a relevant idea or a relevant solution to a problem. And of course, coming next quality is leadership quality and motivator too. So an entrepreneur should have this policy, this principle of self motivation, and at the same time, he should be capable of motivating his co-workers also. And next point coming to risk taker. So there are some many unexpected obstacles or may come in his entrepreneurial journey. We can't say that an entrepreneurial journey is always meant to be a successful journey. No. So in that journey, he might have to face a lot of distractions, a lot of obstacles and all. So how to deal with it? How to, we all know that as an entrepreneur, the difference is that entrepreneur is not, is getting into a business without having a proper financial investment with him. So for him, these qualities are very important. That gives him the strength to work hard for the growth of his company. So that risk-taking capacity is very important. Not only taking risk, the management of that risk also is very important. So these are some obstacles, that is unexpected obstacles, business failures, financial insecurity, all those may arise sometimes, not always. But he should be aware of this. He should have such a foresight, that is sometimes if an obstacle comes, how to manage it. That is also very important. Then accountability and responsibility is another factors. Of course, that he, as an entrepreneur, he must be very accountable in his dealings with his organization, not only his business, but also with existing relevant documentations and all. And responsibility also. Not only he should be responsible not only to his firm or not only to the success of his business, but at the same time to his team, his entire team, and also he has a lot of responsibilities to the society too. Then what is the difference between an employee and an entrepreneur? That is, we all know that employees working for some firm, some particular firm. So he is just working there and making his and or delivering his best for the upliftment of that company. So as an entrepreneur, he is working for his own company. So that means there is some flexibility there. So that flexibility is very important as for an entrepreneur, because an employee, he has several limitations to while working on for the benefit of his company. So all the decisions should be taken, are mostly taken by the management team. But as an entrepreneur, he has the freedom and he has the potential to make his own rules, and he can change that rules based on the existing scenario of the society or his product or his service to the society. So he is flexible. His company also is flexible, not like a firm management or another business management team. So an entrepreneur is entirely different from a manager or other employees concerned. As per the recent survey, so let's see, the US, based on the US Business Economic Survey 2019, it is estimated that 35% of business owners, they are above 55 years of age, and 29% from 45 to 54 years, 24% between 35 to 44 years, and 12% between the age limit of 25 to 34, and only 2% under 25 years. And the interesting fact is that based on the recent Times of India survey, it is found that in India, the Indians constitute 83% of the entrepreneurs. That is, entrepreneurial ambition among the workforce is highest in India. This 83%, which is higher than the global average of 53%. So the business environment in India, we know that it is getting stabilized because of the various state and central government policies for boosting up the business sector. We all are familiar with Make in India, Digital India. So all these, let's hope all such initiatives will help to foster much ambitious and good aspirants towards different business sectors. And there are certain criteria. So this is a good information for all of us, that in India, not only in India, Kerala itself, we can see a lot of emerging entrepreneurs, even from their studenthood itself. So that is why we all know that Ministry of Education has recently extended its innovation and entrepreneurial services even up to the school levels, because such a lot of brilliant ideas are coming from the school students in relation with various issues of global importance. So that is a very good scenario for as far as India and Indians are concerned. That is, we are getting good interest in this entrepreneurship. So as we all, you all are students are there, faculty are there. So the ministry now this time itself proposing that even the faculty or student can go for such startup activities along with their career. And they are revising the national innovation. I'm sure the teachers all are familiar with the national innovation and startup policy also, and that policy also gives much importance, much demand for supporting such entrepreneurship or startup activities of students. And they are demanding, we know that they are demanding the even to include these startups, or to give some projects related that ends up with startup in their semester project works and all. And here the university, we are revising the already existing policy, because here in Business Innovation Incubation Center of Mahatma Gandhi University, we already have an existing incubation policy, and now we are revising that policy based on the instructions from the Ministry of Education. So hopefully that will provide a lot of opportunities for the emerging entrepreneurs from various backgrounds. So there are certain action criteria for an entrepreneur before stepping into his entrepreneurial journey. And first of all, it is let's see some pre-action activities. So as the term denotes, we know that as an entrepreneur, his each and every step should be a predetermined one. So it is not ideal to step into such business ventures all of a sudden. So before that, before getting or stepping into any such businesses, he should spend a lot of time, enough time for thinking about what business he is going to start. What is the idea he's having with him, or what is the so only after some market survey, some product or service demand only he can get into that conclusion, if that is a relevant novel idea. Otherwise what we can do is, an entrepreneur, he can gain some idea based on the existing issues, existing situations prevalent in the society. And now we know that because of this COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of healthcare entrepreneurs are emerging based on the inventions in, based on some findings in recent findings related with this medical equipment technology and all. So that is why I mentioned earlier, we can either have a relevant and innovative idea within ourselves, or we can gain some idea from the society, from the recent scenario of the society. And during this pandemic, we all know that a lot of entrepreneurs are emerging out with many small scale to large scale ideas or business sectors and all, starting from sanitizers, then mask, PPE kits. And here in university itself, we are getting a lot of projects, and our students are also doing a lot of such small activities, small along with their studies and all. And definitely we can also expect a good team of entrepreneurs in the coming future, because the society also giving so many much chances for the students to elaborate their idea and to end up with such great ideas and great support services to the society. So that is very important, that is spending time thinking about how to start a business, then based on the society needs, based on the customer needs and all, then organize a startup team. So once the problem is identified, next is to find solutions for that. Is there any existing already solution, any available solution for that, or what technology or what service or what product we have to develop to solve that issue? So for that we need a teamwork. As an entrepreneur, it is very important to have an organized team so that the idea could be successful very soon. And identify the market opportunities also. As I mentioned earlier, it is very important to identify the market opportunities. And at the same time, we must be very cautious about the changing market demand also. That is also very important. And based on that, an entrepreneur should set up a business plan. So that is very important. These are some prerequisites before stepping into an entrepreneurial journey. Then actual action plan. Next comes based on the business, what we are going to do, or based on the product, what we are going to make out. So based on that, an entrepreneur need to purchase or lease some major items or equipments or facilities. Facilities is also very important. That is the infrastructure facility required. So that is why in colleges and all, in universities and all, Ministry of Education is demanding, it is very important to set up an incubation centers in most of the educational institutions, mainly for this purpose, to provide the infrastructure facilities that are necessary for the students to come up with such brilliant ideas. So that infrastructure development is very important, and all the necessary facilities. We know that, hope some of you have visited some incubation centers and all. There we can see many such full-fledged facilities that are required for an entrepreneur, that with all the computer assisted facilities, any equipment service that he need, and some mentorship facilities, everything is there. So that facility arrangement of the facility is very important. And also identifying the raw material. So once the market is identified and the demand, consumer demand also identified, then we must have an idea about the availability of the raw material also. So nowadays, many startups are coming from different sectors, and fortunately, agriculture sector is having a lot of such entrepreneurs, and they are termed as agripreneurs. And many of them are landing with several agribusiness protocols and all. So that is a very, because so far smart farming is, for a developing country like India, smart farming is still in its infancy. And so it's very important to fill that gap between the farmers and the technology. So many such facilities and technologies are developing in education institutions or universities or research centers and all, but that is far beyond from the reachability of farmers. So that situation should change. So because of this emerging opportunities and entrepreneurship in agriculture, we can we can control that distance between to an extent. We can minimize that distance between the farmers and the technology. And here in university itself, we are providing such a lot of induction programs and training programs, especially for farmers in various organic farming related activities and all. So they are getting a chance to come and interact with the academicians here, to have an idea of the emerging technologies, advantages, recent technological interventions and all. So they are getting a chance to get into familiar with all such technologies. So that is very important. That is establishing a facility with full infrastructure and providing the necessity requirements essential for emerging startups and all. Then after that, once the problem is identified and the solution is there in your mind, then a plan has already made. Then an entrepreneur has to work on continuously to develop that business model, that plan into business model. And there are several procedures for him or her to adopt for the development of his business plan. He can adopt that, and in that section, marketing is very important. So though the term marketing is appears to be a small term here, it has a lot of things and lot of important facts to share with an entrepreneur. So yesterday also we had a session based on this digital marketing. That was really an interesting session to our students, because of that they got the opportunity to get into familiar with recent digital marketing practices and all. So that is marketing is an entirely different section. An entrepreneur should work based on that. And of course, involvement. So his complete involvement and hard work is very important. And we already mentioned the staff selection. So before setting up the entire business, it's very important to have an active team members. Then action next is action planning activities like name selection, color. So name selection, color, all these are very important because once we are having an idea and once everything is ready to set up or to start a business, then definitely what we are looking for is to find an appropriate name, an appropriate logo, any some color designs for our company or our product, whatever it may be. So that step also is very important. Name selection, color. Coming to color, that I told you, that is yesterday's class regard dealing with the digital marketing. We came to know that we can in online platforms and all. We can see that there are several advertisements coming up. Some are very that is urgent sale like activities and so different marketing area is entirely different. And there what the marketing strategists are suggesting is that the best color, that is the red color, has a great impact on the audience, and that color itself can do a lot of miracle for the sale of that product. So that color selection also is very important. Rather than any other colors, this red color is very catchy. And what the digital marketing strategies are demanding is to avoid the what, and it is better for the entrepreneurs to avoid green color because the reachability or attraction of that green is very less when compared to red or blue. So, like that, there are several specific factors an entrepreneur should be taken care of. And next is legal complications, legal entities, and all. So here in Business Innovation Center, here also, we have currently we are having five incubated companies here, and two are from students and three from outsiders. So once they're planning to get into established company. So it is very important to have a legal to complete all the legal formalities. So here, what we are demanding for the students is it's better to register their company first as a firm or as a sole proprietorship, because that is very important before registering it as a company. Because as we all know, as a company, it has a lot of commitments and liabilities also the entrepreneur has to face in future. So what we prefer for our students is once they have an idea, they are going to set up or start their business, and it is better to register it as a firm. That firm may be run by a single or student or a group of students. So that legal accomplishment or legal formality completion is also very important, and an entrepreneur must be aware of all such activities and all. And of course, the investment, he should have a proper plan dealing with the investment. That is, it's not ideal to invest all the money in the initial phase itself. So he should have a proper calculations on all such different matters of different, that is, what are the stages he need to invest into his business and how to invest. So all those marketing investments, legal, all those are separate sections that an entrepreneur have to work on. Then let's see some entrepreneurial competencies. So competencies, we know the term entrepreneurial competencies, it refers to certain skills needed to venture into an enterprise. That is, what are the skills required for an entrepreneur to become successful in life? So one is, we all know, confidence. So not only for entrepreneurship, but for any emerging activities from outside, it is essential to have a confidence in within us. That is, we can do this, we can go on with this. We have an idea, we already gathered some idea, we already discussed the matter with a lot of experts and all. So with that confidence only, an entrepreneur has to step up into his business field. So that confidence, it is a very important factor. And self-assessment. Self-assessment also is very important. That is, an entrepreneur must be capable of evaluating his own competencies. That is, capable of it means self-evaluation. That is, understanding the both the strength and weakness of is very important for an entrepreneur. So that strength, identifying our own strength, will give him will give them more confidence. So that assessment is very important. So based on that self-evaluation only, self-enhancement will take place. So that self-assessment is very important. Next is aptitude. Aptitude means it is just a competency. It refers to a competency to do any type of work. So that aptitude an entrepreneur should generate, then only he can accomplish some task in his entrepreneurial journey. So that aptitude is very important. And next, coming to attitude. Attitude, it is a positive approach. It shows the term attitude refers to our behavior, our approach, not only to a person or not only to an organization, but towards every problems or every opportunities coming in our way. So always an entrepreneur should have a positive attitude towards everything, not only to a person or not only to an issue. So it's very important to maintain that quality of positive attitudes. And this attitude itself, it is a psychological contract that characterizes the quality of that person. So attitude is very an important factor. And entrepreneur tend to be always with a man with positive attitude. Then only it will be easy for him to accomplish his visions. And obviously technical skills he should be aware of, and he should be well equipped with handling recent technical. He should have proper technical skills and all. Then here I am addressing some entrepreneurial competencies that is very important for an entrepreneur. One is opportunity assessment, and second one, problem solving ability. Third, innovation, resilience, operational flexibility, autonomy, curiosity, values driven, action orientation, calculated risk taking, value creation, growth mindset, leadership, self efficacy, and opportunity recognition. So these are the essential skills or qualities or competencies necessary for an entrepreneur to come up successful in his life. So the term success for as an entrepreneur, we must be familiar with both success stories and also the failure stories. What I recommend is it's very important for us to listen more to failure stories, because then only we should know all the do's and don'ts of this entrepreneurial journey. Then only our path will be clear, and without that clarity, we cannot move on. So we must have an awareness of both the success and failure stories also, because nowadays we can see a lot of orientation sessions based on and founder talks based on success stories of entrepreneurs, but at the same time failure stories is also very important, and I'm sure that most of the success stories that they are sharing, definitely they will have a failure story also along with their entrepreneurial journey. So that success or failure, it matters only secondary. First of all, it is necessary to know the steps an entrepreneur should take to move on with his journey. And let's see each of the competencies. And first one is opportunity assessment. So opportunity assessment, the term itself is very familiar to us. It is an ability to evaluate an idea. So once an entrepreneur is getting an idea, he needs to evaluate it. He needs to study each and every corner related with that, with the concept and opportunity. And he should be aware of the marketing opportunities also. If we are having an idea without getting any market demand, or without knowing any demand from the customers and all, we are immediately stepping into that business. Definitely, that won't end up in a good one, because once we have an idea or we are having a concept and we need to put into reality, It's very important to study the market demand and the strategies. What are the marketing strategies we need to follow? And after that, the financial potential needed here. Then only it is better to have a decision on that. So that opportunity assessment is very important, and the implementation also is very important. Next is increases the probability of, then only this an entrepreneur can increases the chance of making his entrepreneurship a successful one. And next point is viability and profitability of opportunity. That is also very important because we are having a relevant idea, or we did the market survey and all, and we are having some bright idea, or we know how to implement it. We know the steps. Everything is ready. Investment, money, everything ready. But if that idea or that product or that technology, if it is not viable, then its reachability it's a major issue. So that viability also is very important. Then only all these factors can accounts for the profitability of the company. So that feasibility, that is, if suppose we can suggest ഒരു recent issue നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞാല് for example solid waste management. So that is an issue with great global demand. So there are so many techniques and technologies are emerging for better solutions for the waste management and all. But the feasibility of that technology, the adoption criteria, the possibility for getting the technology being adopted. So that is what we meant by viability. And so that point is very important, viability of the technology or product. So that also an entrepreneur must think about that. And next, coming to problem solving, that is the term implies it is the ability to find creative, innovative solutions to certain problems. So, and seeking different ways to reach the goals. That is, an entrepreneurial mindset should always be a changing mindset. What I meant by changing mindset is it's not ideal to have a fixed mindset. Sometimes an entrepreneur need to have obviously a balanced mindset, but it should not be a fixed one. So based on the daily issues of the society, or based on the market demand, or consumer or customer demand, he need to change his mindset, or he need to make some alterations or modifications in his product or service. Then only it will become very catchy. So that he should take several ways, alternate. He should be ready with alternative ways to reach his goals. So that skill is very important. And effort, imagination, knowledge, and evaluation of the problem, all these are very important for solving a problem. And it is the ability to identify problems, redefine them, and create opportunities out of them. That is and the main motto of an entrepreneur should be changing his challenges, changing his difficulties or his problems into opportunities. Then only his company can grow. So that is very important. Not only identifying the problem and redefining, he should be capable of converting his challenges into future opportunities. So all those qualities what we are mentioning here and already mentioned helps an entrepreneur to get into this mindset of converting our challenges into opportunities. And all this stimulates creative thinking process also. Next, innovation, very common term nowadays. It is ability to be creative and turn our ideas into reality. So the development of a new idea or method or product based on the changing markets or technologies. So that is what we meant by this term innovation. And not always it is mandatory for us to have a new idea. I told you earlier, because already a better solution for an existing idea or any alterations in the already available technology, all those comes under the category of novel ideas. So we can call all such ideas also as innovation. And this innovation, it represents today's competitive advantage. So high quality, high flexibility, cost effective innovations or solutions or some products or technology is very important. And market faster also, because if we are having something in our mind and we are working on it continuously, it is important that we need to work on it, but at the same time we should be aware of the changing market also. Otherwise, once we are getting out of all such thought process and all, and then our product is coming into market, but already someone else has captured that market. So that market faster, that ability to get the reachability of our product or service into market is very important. And of course, the innovation, it should be highly dynamic, and it should follow a sustainable strategy also. Then it is the ability to work through challenges and to adapt successfully to the changing disturbances that threatens our system or our business. So whatever difficulties or whatever situations, disturbances will come, an entrepreneur should have an ability to adapt to it. It is not ideal to get away or to commit some wrong practices because of as an escaping mechanism from problems, and also that is not good. It is always better to have an adaptation to all such disturbances. With proper mindset, we can change all such disturbances or challenges, and we can convert them into opportunities. So for that, an entrepreneur need to establish all these mindsets, these competencies. Okay. Then coming to operational flexibility, the term implies operational flexibility. It is ability to respond to the environment or to respond to the situation or to the public or whatever very quickly and positively. So that is very important. Flexibility. That is at what time we need to be flexible, what alternative measure we should follow. So that frequent response, dynamic and alertness is very important. So that ability is what we meant by operational flexibility. And business plan, that term itself has a lot of topics to be discussed, the business plan itself, because it's very important to work on certain subjects and to develop some statements based on that idea or a product or technology. So that establishing or developing a business plan and converting it into a working model is very important. So all these are several steps the entrepreneur has to face in his entrepreneurial journey. So these, what I want to add here, that is shortly by next week in the month of May 3rd to May 3 to May 7, we are planning to organize an entrepreneurship development program, especially for students, and also teachers can also join. Then other research scholars and other industry persons, farmers unit, all such groups can participate in that entrepreneurship development program, which is especially meant for the students or the participants to get a clarity regarding the steps. Here we are familiar, we are getting an idea about the theory part only. So there they are providing, we have got already a good team of members as the resource persons, and today only we planned all the sessions, and we gave the news to the university website also. You all can visit www.mgu.ac.in. It is there in the news regarding the entrepreneurship development program, and it is good for students to get an idea regarding every steps of an entrepreneurial journey. So this business plan, business model, marketing, everything is coming under that section. So you can have a good idea out of that program. So this business plan focusing on core values and open-mindedness and developing the skill set, mindset, everything is very important. And always he should be pessimistic, and he should stay calm also. Whatever problems come, whatever situations come, it is not ideal to behave aggressively to a person, to a society, to a group of people, or to any organization. So staying the mindset or staying calm is also very important, and definitely plan ahead. Always he should have a plan ahead, and for developing some strong support network. So if an entrepreneur is having all such mindset, it is very easy for him to develop a strong supporting network system. Because as an entrepreneur, it is very difficult to work without the support from his not only team members, what are all the competitors he's going to face. So it's very important to have a healthy competitions with, then only the company can grow. So all these qualities, all these competencies will be helpful for an entrepreneur to develop into such established ventures in future. Then autonomy, the term implies it's a control over outcomes as an individual. And an entrepreneur must have strong internal locus of control. So, what is meant by this locus of control? It is a concept which defines whether a person believes he or she is in control of his or her future or someone else is in control of it. So, an entrepreneur should always maintain or develop an internal locus of control. So that is he is the boss of his own company. So that feeling, that is, he has a control over him. Nobody else has taken that control. So that internal locus of control an entrepreneur should maintain. Next is curiosity. It is a catalyst ingredient, and as an entrepreneur, he should look at even every possibilities to solve an issue, whether it may be a small problem or small issue. He should be ready to go to any extent to solve that problem, and then only he should find he'll be able to find some better solutions for that. So that curiosity is very important, and it has a lot. It can do a lot. This entrepreneurial curiosities often contributes to entrepreneurship success. Then finding answers and all, how to deal with unexpected tasks that may comes into his entrepreneurial journey. And of course, the marketing ability also he needs to build up. Then value driven, that is the extent to which an individual is committed to their personal and organizational values. As an entrepreneur, it is his responsibility to give some values to his customers, his organization too. So that value-driven policy must be his guiding principles, and that will be very useful for him to for his entrepreneurial journey. Next is action orientation, that is the extent to which a person is willing to take action to solve a problem. That is a personal initiative from the side of an entrepreneur. He should be always action oriented. Next is calculated risk taking. Risk taking is very important, and calculated risk taking is what an entrepreneur should focus. Calculated risk taking and the risk management, then only he should be able to manage his risk. Without any prior calculations and all, it is not ideal to take risk. So that calculated risk taking ability is very important. Risk management means it is systematic monitoring, assessing, transferring, and then exploiting the multifaceted risk as innovation initiatives. So this calculated risk taking and risk management is very important for the success of any entrepreneurship. And this successful identification and management of risk is very important for an entrepreneur. Next is value creation. Value creation, it is a ability to evaluate the potential, that is to create a new value for his client and organization. So he should treat his customer as God. That is, whatever based on his needs, an entrepreneur should be ready to change his mindset. So that is giving value to their customers or the organization. So this value creation policy, it is an integral part of the business model. Then only he can find a lot of opportunities, that is pursuing new markets, new revenue streams, new business opportunities and all. Next is growth mindset, what we have mentioned earlier, that is an entrepreneur must have a growth mindset which is able to learn from mistakes and use them to grow their business. It is not ideal to have a fixed mindset for an entrepreneur. And he should not think that failure is due to his mistake or due to his inability. No, he should consider it is as what Kalam has mentioned, it is a first attempt in learning. So we must learn from our mistakes. We have to learn where we lost the opportunity and the market and all, then we need to work on it. So that growth mindset should be there. Then leadership, of course, it is the ability to lead a group of people. So that is very important quality for an entrepreneur. He should be in the driving seat of his company, and he should be aware all the time about the coming up obstacles in his way, and he should think what he should do next, whether to stop his journey or to take a break from the journey, or how to manage that crisis. So that leadership quality is very important. The entire team, the whole crew is based on his leadership power and all. So that is it is essential to have a clear vision about the problems he needs to face. And definitely, only a good leader can be a good coordinator and an organizer. And effective communication, also another quality. He should maintain a good communication with his co-workers. He can ask their opinions and all, and final decision definitely he has to make based on the comments. He can listen to them. Finally, the decision should be his own. And self-efficacy, it is a confidence that individual believes, he believes that he can do something to solve the problems and achieve the goal. So that confidence reflects the self-efficacy. Next is self-esteem, self-motivation, expectancy, and this internal locus of control we mentioned. So all these attributes to the quality of self-efficacy. He should always have a feeling that I can do it. That is, he should be ready to go to what extent he can, or he can learn from his mistakes. He can follow the idea or strategy someone else has followed. He can discuss on that. Based on that, it is flexible for him to make some changes in his decision or his service. So opportunity recognition, that is the final quality that we can say, that is proactively brainstorming a new business venture or expanding some idea. So with a prior knowledge, with proper alertness and some social networking, the entrepreneur can recognize a lot of opportunities coming in his way, and all such ideas will help him to make his business a perfect one. So in all these slides, we have seen some qualities that are essential for an entrepreneur to set up his own or her own business, and increasing how we can increase such potential. We can increase them based on the business knowledge. If we don't have much knowledge, we can gain some business knowledge from magazines or watching some business related channels, or from internet sources. It is very common, and it's mostly available nowadays. It's not difficult to get some knowledge from regarding in any particular business. Then communication skill also. He should develop a good communication skill. That is very important. And financial skill. Financial skill, it shows the ability to manage the finance. Then only he can maintain the balance between the initial and the crisis stage. Then career exploration, definitely he should have that strength. He should have the ability to identify his strength and weakness, and what are all the career opportunities that are coming in his entrepreneurial journey, and he needs to explore more in that. And community awareness also very important. That is, an entrepreneur must never lose an opportunity he's getting to communicate or to interact with the public. So that community awareness is very important. He can get that community awareness from by attending various training programs or various conferences, workshops, and all. So that interaction with the community, with the public, that skill also is very important. And strong inspiring relationships also, it is very essential to maintain inspiring relationships. That is, the person who acts as a motivator for us, whether as a strong mental support or any technical support. So as an entrepreneurial, it is very essential to maintain a strong inspiring relationships. So all these are what I discussed are some basic qualities that are essential for an entrepreneur, and from this we can identify that an entrepreneur can be made or born based on these qualities. So we can change our mindset and we can start our entrepreneurial journey also. So there are many of the entrepreneurs are born with brilliant ideas, and many of them have gained a lot of such ideas or technologies from their experiences or from their exposure to the society. So based on that, we can conclude that an entrepreneur can be both born and also made. Next, I want to discuss. I want to show you some about our Business Innovation Incubation Center facilities and activities. So this center has established in 2016 with the seed capital from donated by the government of Kerala, mainly for supporting student innovations, incubations and entrepreneurship. Here we are providing administrative, academic and financial support also. We all are familiar with the recent national innovation and startup policy of the Ministry of Education, that every institution must spend minimum 1% of their annual budget for promoting such innovation entrepreneurship activities. So the R&D support, startup grants, patent facilitation, entrepreneurship support are provided here. And area of focus, this Business Innovation Incubation Center, it is working as a part of the academic institution Mahatma University and collaborating with all the schools and centers of the university, and focusing on various core areas or thrust areas like information communication technology, business and economics management, agribusiness and processing, then innovations related with chemistry, physics, nanotechnology, environmental sciences, health and pharmaceuticals, tourism, and biosciences as well. So these are the hub and spokes of Business Innovation Incubation Center. So we are working as a model like this. From here, once the incubatee is getting registered with this incubation center, he is getting all the mentorship and instrumentation and all other facilities available in different schools or centers of the university. So that would be helpful for him to get graduated. And these are our support services, professional guidance and mentorship, academic and technological guidance, administrative support, IPR support. And for IPR support, so far BIIC has filed 22 patents, student patents. And out of that 22 filed patents, one got granted recently. We all know through newspapers and all, our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sabusa's team, his student got that patent granted recently, filed through this in Business Innovation Center. And for providing this IPR support and all, we have a legal consultant, Mr. Advocate Binoy Kadavan. He is doing the legal consultations and all other activities regarded with this patent filing, and he is doing the follow-up and all. And Mahatma University is providing the financial support for that patent filing and all. Then selection process. So this is the here we are every year we are conducting this. We are inviting student startup applications, but unfortunately due to this pandemic, last year we didn't conduct the screening process, and this year we are planning to conduct the screening process. Our marketing, technical, and academic experts will evaluate the process, and the applicants can be from both inside and outside the Mahatma University. And recently the university has started our collaboration with several industry firms, federations and all. So that would be very useful for the students to get an exposure to the industry and to get an idea about the needs of the industry. And the applicants must already have an idea or product or service, and that they need to present their idea before the committee. And once their idea is getting selected, they need to register with the Business Innovation Incubation Center. And for registration also, Mahatma University is providing 50% financial support for the firm to get registered. And these are our schedules. Track 1, we are promoting ideational phase. As we all know, the Young Innovators program of KDIS, we are giving importance for this idea selection phase and all. And track 2 is prototype development phase, and track 3 entrepreneurial support. So these three phases a student has to come up with. And here we are providing, as per our incubation policy, we are giving a time period of 3 years for the incubatees to get graduated through these different phases. And these are several programs usually we conduct. That is Big Connect. It is an initiative mainly specifically for the university department students to boost their ideas and to come up with good startups. So it's a selection process. And mostly the target groups are postgraduate students. And especially for research scholars, this program we are conducting every year from labs to industry program. So this is an exclusive startup program for the PhD scholars so as to convert their thesis into startups. As we know that today also we had a session with the Ministry of Education of converting this same idea, that is to how to convert the thesis into startups. So it is, as an education institutions or academic institutions, it is our duty, it is our responsibility to promote maximum such activities from the student side. So as a faculty, it's our duty to boost them, to encourage them towards this. And here BIC is providing the seed capital, free mentoring, patent facilitation, and legal support for company formation also. Then these are our student entrepreneurs from Mahatma University with their innovative products and all. Then he is Dr. Rayan Vaidya, our international mentor. He is a technical expert from California University. He's while conducting boot camps and all, he is the supporting team behind. He is a supporting person behind the team. And these are some of our achievements. That is startups. We supported 121 student startups and registered. We have the credit of 5 registered companies and 22 filed patents with 1 patent granted. And already the university has started collaboration with Confederation of Indian Industry. And now we are planning to have the collaboration or to sign an MOU with Central Travancore Chamber of Commerce. So all these CII and Travancore Commerce, all those are industry federation, industry group. So several industry people are there. So what is the benefit we are getting out of it is that industry people need skilled students or skilled employees. So the issue is that after completing the post graduation and all, the students are entering into the industry or entering into the market. So at that time, it is not easy for them to identify the needs of the industry, then to change their training, or after that, after their post graduation and all, they need to go for some extra, some other training or some other instrumentation they need to practice and all. Then only they will get a chance to work on with the industry. So by bringing such we can some changes, we can make a good change in that. That is, this collaborations helps our students to get a chance to visit the industries, to get a chance with to meet the industry experts, the innovators, the investors, so that if they are having some idea in their mind, and here what we are doing is we are giving them full support to meet or to interact with the investors, and we are inviting such investors to university. They will have a good interaction with the students, and if they are ready to support the students financially, that would be a blessing for the student. He can come up, he can establish his venture. So that fund also, CSR funding also, we are planning to apply for. And one product is launched from BIC, and 2 products are under processing stage and all. And recently, 3 entrepreneurial awards also for our incubatees. And we have established this MHRD Institution Innovation Council, and recently we got granted with this IEDC Kerala Startup Mission. So these are our incubatees. Interiors Bioresearch Center, it is a student startup, mainly based on, they developed an agri product with much antifungal property. And next is A-grade tools. Actually, this belongs to a farmer group. What is their novelty of the product is they identified some fruit capping machine, so that the fruits can be protected from the attack of birds and all. And this incubator got the innovation award, that was conducted last year at the national state level. And this is our next incubator, Calabora Labs, and their products, this hand wash, dishwash, sanitizers, and some health promoting supplements also. And this Calabora Lab has recently got approval from Ayush Ministry for selling their herbal products and immune boosters also. And here we are giving a chance for our incubators as they have cleared all the necessary formalities from Ayush department and all. We are giving the permission. University has given the permission for the incubators to use the label of Mahatma University in their products, and these products are now readily available in the market also. And this is our next incubator, Dia Herbal Health Pharmaceutical. So this is run by Dr. Jobin Jacob and Dr. Sweetie from Pala. So their product is mainly some health promoting agents, immune boosters, and some anti-diabetic herbal drugs they are making. And recently they are focusing on turmeric-based mask and all, and PPE kits also. So they also completed several clinical trials and they got guidance from Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, New Delhi, and they also got patent license from the drug department. So these are our 5 incubators. And this is the last one, that is Eco Loving Advancement. It is a startup company initiated by research scholars of School of Environmental Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi University, to propagate the idea of green conference. Students are supplying with all the conference materials and all such eco-friendly materials, and they are maintaining a good people of women entrepreneurs also. They are giving training for them to organize several self-help groups, and universities has provided the financial aid for setting up of their business firm. And these funding opportunities we explored. These are certain funding opportunities. DBT Promise, you can also visit the DBT, this online website, DBT Promise. There we can have a lot of latest announcements and funding schemes that will promote this innovation and entrepreneurship activities and for promoting startups. So what we are doing is we are frequently applying for different schemes, and recently we got sanctioned with a facility for setting up a food testing lab at Mahatma Gandhi University. It is a grant from Ministry of Food Processing Industries. And the DST e-promise facility also you can search for. And CSR funding, this is the funding which we claim from the industry people. And MSME funding also. Recently we got an MSME funding for, we got the recognition for our business incubator from the MSME, and we are stepping into the second phase of that. So we are doing that MSME. First level we have cleared, and of course the funding support from KSUM and KDISC are also here. So that's all about the. I have to explain to you based on our activities at the Business Innovation Incubation Center. Hope I am clear to you. If you need any questions, or if you have any questions or you need any clarification, please ask.
Participants can ask doubts, we'll discuss together.
Whether there is any financial support for students in affiliated colleges from BIIC?
So, ma'am, this year we are planning for that because we have already applied for some funding and all, and this year's financial budget it is still pending. We have requested for that for some funding related to not only to MG University's campus students, but also from affiliated colleges also. So hopefully this can.
Any other questions?
And many of the colleges have already asked because whether about our national innovation policy, and
Chandana ma'am will join soon.
sorry, ma'am, some technical issues from my side.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so what I was telling is that, ma'am, you are also familiar with the National Innovation Policy, right? So many teachers from affiliated institutions are asking this frequent question regarding this adoption of this policy by the university. So we have revised the policy based on the Ministry of Education guidelines, and we are submitted before the committee. And once the policy is getting revised, we will upload it in our website also, so that if any one of you can have a look, please. And the other thing, what I was mentioning is the program, that is the Entrepreneurship Development Program we are going to conduct on the first week of May. So that is a well organized, well planned sessions organized by the NIT teams, NIT Calicut. So they already plan as per the schedules, and I have discussed them regarding the Ministry of Education guidelines, and based on that only we prepared the entrepreneurship development entire program. So if your students are interested or the faculty are interested, so please you can make use of that also.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, it is available in our website. So, ma'am, if participants don't have any questions, shall we wind up?
Okay, let's have a vote of thanks.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. Thank you. Let me
Thank you.
invite Miss Anaka KS for proposing the vote of thanks.
Good evening, participants. On behalf of PG and Research Department of Botany, in association with IEDC and IIC, St. Peter's College, Kolonjeri, I would like to take this moment to present vote of thanks. First of all, we thank to our principal, Dr. Shaju Wagisa, for joining with us, also for the support provided for us to conduct the webinar. I thank Dr. Chandana C. ma'am for spending her valuable time and knowledge with us. It was truly an informative session and we enjoyed it. I hope you will continue to give us support and guidance. Now I thank Head of the Department, Sri Abraham Matusa, for your great involvement. I also thank all teachers of Botany Department. I thank Dr. Sona S. Dev ma'am, Dr. Renu Susan Samuel ma'am, and the coordinator of the program, Remya Chinaya ma'am, for organizing such a good webinar of these adversities from an eminent person. And a special thanks to Dr. Prashant Kumar, guest lecturer, SVRNS College, Wadur, for introducing the guest. Now, let me thank all the teachers and students participants of IEDC and IIC as well. Last but not least, I thank all the attendees over here for joining, and I hope you guys found that the webinar to be informative and entertaining. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the organizing team of St. Peter's Kolancheri and also my friend Prashant. So I'm very happy that we were PhD students here, and I'm very happy to be a part of your team also. And Remya, in future also we can have a lot of collaborations with Mahatma University. And what are all the services we can provide you through organizing sessions or some informations related to awareness programs, EDPs, FDPs, or some financial opportunities for the students, definitely we will contact you and we will keep in touch with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's conclude the webinar. Thank you so much, and all. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you.